Sunny TV unfiltered. Just as well it is fucking unfiltered. Unai Emery out. And leave your arse in Sheffield. You know, like I said during the game, I'll strip that geezer naked, take away his wallet, take away his bus pass, you know, and I'll let him walk home from Sheffield. His team selection was absolutely shit. I called it on Twitter. I said it was going to be 1-0 Sheffield United, and that's exactly what it is. They totally outplayed us. So Sheffield United 1, Arsenal 0. Joining us, thanks Simon for bearing with us after you've done the watch along.
Yeah, cheers.
Big up for that. We've got Ben with us.
Hello, lads.
We've got the kid, Unai Emery in. He's lucky he's pausing on his neck. We've got Kieran. And we've got Diesel. Nice to have you, Diesel.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, Stanley. Appreciate that, man.
You're welcome, my bro. If you haven't already subscribed, go subscribe to Kieran's channel, KS1, and follow Kieran on his Twitter and also AFTV as well. Basically, welcome to everyone in the comments, especially for all of you who's also done the watch along with us. Thanks for sticking with us. Right, basically, it's an Emery out night. It's Halloween all over again.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
We'll start with you then, Kieran. Kieran, what's your analysis of the game? Let's start with your team selection as well.
Mate, I'm just. This strike is a struggle, mate. Because you look at the team selection. I don't think anyone picked that team that he picked tonight on paper, and it was there to be seen. We knew what was going to happen as soon as we saw that team. We knew it was a very industrial team against a Sheffield Wednesday, which were going to be very industrial and hardworking. And it actually needed a team with something a bit different, a spark to sort of break them down, which we knew was going to have to do. We saw Liverpool struggle against that team, and we got our asses handed to us against a team who you thought would have just been workhorses, but they actually created more chances than us. They were more creative than us. They had more of a spark than us. There was just more energy about them. We were just poor all over the pitch, man. But I can't really say it was massive. I mean, Pepe's chance to score there, 72 million, 72 quid, 72p. You've got to be putting them away. Like anyone misses them on a Sunday, they get their asses handed to them by a manager. So that's absolutely shocking. But yeah, it's worrying, man. It's seriously worrying. It's worrying because I don't know how long we can just carry on with being patient. On like, I see no vision there. I don't see a style of play. I don't see an ethos that we're setting. And I don't see a vision, and that's what I worry about.
Whose ethos is that? Socrates' cousin.
Mate, I ain't got a fucking clue, mate. It's seriously worrying. I can't see any way out with this man in charge.
Diesel, what's your? We haven't spoken to you before, bro. What's your thoughts of Unai Emery? Was you Emery in? Was you Emery out? Was you shake it all about? What was you?
Do you know what, Sonny, right? I've never been a flip-flop, and I'm going to tell you boys straight, right? I've always liked Emery. However, hear me out. However, I started to turn. I can't understand how a manager can be here for 2 years and still not know his best 11. For me, that's just criminal, right?
So what did you like about him, bro? What did you like about him? Was it his hair?
I don't know. Well, I was jealous of his hair. But no, I just think last year, because we were so used to Wenger, right? I missed seeing a manager barking at orders on the touchline, right? Like literally talking to players through games. I felt he was doing that last season. Now, let's be honest, lads, right? We all gave him a pass last season, right? He's got, because obviously 22 years of Wenger being here.
I didn't give him a pass, bro.
No, but the majority did. The majority did, right?
You don't get £6 million. You don't get £6 million a year and get a pass.
Yeah, no, I get that. But 22 years of one man, one voice, you know, the same people in the backroom staff, the same this, the same that. He comes along, and I think everyone, more or less everyone, said, look, the man, you got to give the man at least a year. Right now, what I can't stand are people who sort of claim that Arsenal, fact, we are the most impatient fans. If anything, I think we are the most patient. We have been, right? But what I'm seeing at the moment, the Xhaka thing, I turned on him after that. It's disgusting. I honestly think he's got something in his contract saying he must play. I can't see what else it is. The man offers nothing to the team, right? But today, Tierney not playing, he's fit. Holding not playing.
You can see where his priorities lie. His priorities obviously lie in the Europa League.
Yeah, I agree with you.
In a competition where we've practically already qualified.
I think Terry said it earlier on, right? You know, he's too worried about what the opposition are doing, rather than. I look at our squad and I think, do you know what, Sheffield United, with all due respect, right, they're having an okay season, but I look at our squad, we should be blitzing that team. But then it's the common Arsenal thing, Sonny.
Wasn't that Sheffield United's first home win, was it? Or was that their second home win of the season?
Well, I think they've scored like 8 goals in 7 games. I don't know. It's pathetic, but it's a typical Arsenal thing. Late at night, dark, cold, wet, windy, up north. Typical Arsenal. You know, what annoys me is I don't mind losing, right? If every player puts a shift in and Sheffield United just happen to be the better team on the night, I can accept that. What I can't accept is players walking back, jogging. Lacazette was the only one who come on, and I thought, you know what? He's added a bit of bite. He was everywhere.
I mean, who did put a shift in tonight, other than the coach driver?
I thought Pepe had an okay game. I can see flashes. I think he does need time. That's just my opinion. I've seen a lot of him. I do think he needs time. I think he's in a poor team, right? Willock, I thought was surprisingly. I thought he was poor tonight, but then he played a lot further back than what he's used to. For me, it's we haven't replaced Cazorla. For me, you know that link up player in the middle. You know, could play with both feet, can quicken it up.
Yeah, but sorry, David, but finding a Cazorla, they are few and far between.
Yeah,
like we keep on harping back to we need a new Vieira. These players are one of a kind. We need a new Fabregas. They're not. They don't exist. Yeah. They're one of a kind. They're unique. But the players that came on tonight, I don't really feel like there was much of a difference anyway. So Bales came in at half time. What really did he make a difference?
I'm having a bad day.
I think his starting lineup tonight is the team that he prefers because he prefers security, which he sees as the 3 midfielders, whether it's Torreira in there instead of Willock.
Pragmatic,
yeah, and that's what he likes. Yeah. Even when you think back when he first came and the signings that were spoken about were very like even Ever Banega, like he's an attacking kind of, but he's not. He's a centre midfielder that can attack. He's a practical player. He's a runner. Like he wants athletes. I see him as like the Spanish Mourinho, but he's not doing anywhere near as good on that front. And it's just oh man, it's not
Kieran, right?
enjoyable to watch.
Right. Let me ask you something, right? I watched that game tonight, right? And do you know what? One of the biggest flaws I see with Arsenal, right? Years ago, whether we were spoilt or not, that's up for debate, right? But we were considered as like a Barcelona light, like the closest thing to how Barcelona play, right? In terms of over here in the Premier League, right? We used to play champagne football, beautiful, free flowing, and all that, right? I've watched that game tonight, Number one, we are far from that now, right? We don't even play good football. We haven't, in my opinion, for the last 2 or 3 years, But for me, what catches my eye a lot more is the way we are off the ball. Like when we don't have the ball, it's like they are clueless. No one's in shape. I think Terry said it earlier. Sheffield United, right? When they have to defend, they defended a pack. You know, they're so it's regimental. You know, I like Chris Wilder. I rate him.
That's what they are, though. That's what they are. And
we're not.
Exactly. And we've gone to Sheffield United with a team that is essentially as much as a Sheffield United team you could face up against, and it's madness. Where the players that's meant to break them down?
That game was so slow, it made Granit Xhaka look good.
He weren't even bad tonight.
That's what I'm saying.
He weren't even bad tonight.
That game was so slow. Xhaka could look good. And
He
I'm
weren't bad tonight. And
just broke the glass of my vape machine, and I'm pissed as well.
And he got
reading some
subbed.
comments on Twitter, and people were trying to blame Xhaka for stuff. And I'm like, no. Like, he has not done anything wrong. It's just we're not breaking them down.
Do you know what? Xhaka was our best player tonight.
Huh?
Xhaka was our best player tonight.
We didn't look like he was going to score.
I don't agree with that, Sam.
Kieran, right? Do you think, right, that sometimes I do think, do Arsenal just turn up at these grounds and just think, oh, what we've got to do is turn up? You know, we're going to walk this. Because we all knew this is going to be a tough game tonight. The players must have known that.
I think we used to. I think we used to turn up at games and think we'll just play our style, and then they'd have to battle against us, which in a way worked for many years because it was attacking. So it was just like the best form of attack, defense is attack. But now we're not doing that. We can't. We're not going. I feel that Emery has a plan, but he's not. The players aren't pushing it through.
Yeah.
But is he not? Is that the manager or is that the players? But I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy watching it last season, even on that long run. And there was a lot of talk about how we would have capitulated under certain under previous regimes, stuff like that. And I'm looking at it and I'm getting pissed off because we're beating teams like Cardiff and all these other teams that have just been
just about beating them.
And we're talking about how we would have capitulated under the previous manager. And I just thought, calm down. We've got to see what this guy's going to do. When it actually came to the crunch, what did we actually do after Christmas last season? We had this magic run of 11 games where we were laughing at everyone else. Look at your run. Look what we got. And how many points did we get from home when we needed 1 point to get in the Champions League? We lost to Leicester. There was Wolves, Watford, dropped points against Brighton. And this is carried on till this season. It's carried on.
This is what I'm saying, right? It's not as if we had 2 games, right? What was it? It was a point, right? We lost that by a point. Mm-hmm. This wasn't Man City and Liverpool we had to play. No. It was Brighton and Palace.
Brighton and Palace. That's the worst thing. Brighton and Palace. Palace's away record last season was horrendous. And Brighton are just shit. What more can you say?
You'd have given us that. Would have been, oh, yes, please. Yeah, those 2 games. Yeah, happily. Yeah, I'll take that all day long.
I mean, I hate to start this Mesut Ozil argument, right? And I'm going to come to you, Ben.
Yep.
How the fuck is Ozil not getting in this team?
Well, this is the thing, right? It's not about who you think's even the best player to start, or the way I see it is, right, if you look at our best 11 in terms of the majority of fans, rightly or wrongly, it's an attacking 11. It's definitely not a defensive 11. It doesn't matter how many centre-backs we buy. We don't have defensive midfielders. Xhaka is not a defensive midfielder. Willock is not a defensive midfielder. Guendouzi is not a defensive midfielder.
We had 2 holding midfielders tonight against Sheffield United who play 5 at the back. Why?
But this is the thing. We play 5 at the back because Xhaka, like I said, he always plays like a half-back. He plays like a...
No, I mean, say Sheffield United played 5 at the back tonight and we got 2 holding midfielders. You know, Sheffield United didn't come to attack tonight, but even though we sat so, even though we were so slow, they was attacking us. Because
I think if you look at the games that we've actually won this season, they've all been down to pretty much an individual piece of skill.
But would you not say that was last? Sorry, Ben. Would you not say that was last season as well?
Yeah. So like, I want to write. I kind of want to go like I've got my opinions on last season. I wanted him out pretty much January. Before we even got to the Europa League fight, I didn't care. I don't like the style of football. I think that when someone took over from Wenger, it had to be someone who had a distinct style of play.
Thank you.
Forget the losing, right? You lose games. Everyone loses games. He is obsessed now, more than like Ranieri got in that season with Leicester after he won the league, where he doesn't want to lose. He's looked at that record and gone, right, if I get 4 more draws away from home next season, I'll hit the target and get top 4. Top 4 is not good enough for us this season because there's a lot of shit teams. We should be laughing. We should be pushing City, to be completely honest. At the moment, they still look a little bit suspect. They did well against Palace when they got the first goal. Before they got that first goal, they were struggling. And I was thinking, right, if we just go and play our own game, if we play the attacking players, we'll get goals. We didn't even look like we were going to score tonight.
Yeah.
This is Sheffield United. Like, they're not fucking... I mean, I know it must feel like the fucking players are flying back from the new camp, the way we got battered. We had 89% possession or what it was in the second half and 3 shots.
don't mean nothing.
It doesn't mean
no,
shit.
they let us have possession. They let us have possession because they had the men behind the ball. They knew they knew from the first half we weren't going to break them down.
But again, I can't defend him anymore because, like, okay, he's still playing out from the back, and it's clear none of the players want to play out from the back. I said this before, and Leno is literally not wanting to pass the ball to fucking someone 4 yards from him. He wants to clear the ball up the pitch, and it looks like it's pissing Emery off. My biggest problem is I don't think that any of the fucking players know what he wants them to do. I don't think there's a game plan. I don't think he knows what he's doing. All the things that I liked about him at the very beginning, being up on the touchline, being animated, he doesn't even do that anymore. He stands there looking like a man who knows he's going to lose his job. And he is. And all this shit I see on Twitter about, I'll give him till the end of the season. Why?
I wouldn't.
We haven't played one game.
Mate,
in fact,
I said it after we beat Villa. I said sack him on the Monday.
I said the same.
After we beat Villa, I said sack him Monday.
But that performance was the same as tonight. We got lucky because we were at home and the crowd probably played a bit of an impact, and we won it in the last minute. Yeah.
I mean, Pioneer was very Emery in. Even he's had enough.
I just don't understand it, man. I think, like, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm never happy when Arsenal lose, ever. And I would take the win and me to be annoyed that Emery's still the manager.
Oh, my God. Ben, I've got to stop you on this comment.
Go on.
Grooming scandal. Please, bruv, give your head a wobble, please. But you all wanted Wenger out. This is what you wanted. This isn't what we wanted.
No,
I'm not being funny, but watching tonight's game, I didn't watch all of it because it kept going in and out. But watching our games this season with Emery, yes, we might have want Wenger out, but it feels like watching the game, he's still fucking stood there at the touchline.
No, well, could I just... Can you not tie everyone with the same brush, please, Mr. Groomer? Why you called yourself a groomer, I don't know. But you're not tying on the same brush.
He's hiding in plain sight.
No, I wasn't a Wenger out, and I'm not afraid to show it. His time was coming to an end, and I didn't like the way he was handed out. But this is dog. This is utter dog. This is trash. There's no style of play. It's not exciting.
You know what?
You shouldn't lose entertaining football for winning, and we're not even winning at the moment.
I'll go through 20 managers if we had to. All this about we can't sack a manager every season. I don't care how many managers they go through until we get the right one.
The thing is, go on, lads. Go on.
No, I feel like we had 22 years of which we've now.
Oh my god!
I hope this guy's wife's cheating on him, but he still takes her back.
I won't be surprised if it's a Spurs fan.
Let's just block him.
What I say, we had 22 years, which changed the style of play that Arsenal play. Why do we not carry on with that? Why do we not carry on with that style? Why do we now have to change the whole way of playing at Arsenal? The whole what we expect as fans at Arsenal. Why do we have to then change that? Because it's going to take years to do that. You can't do that in 2 seasons.
It's not in our DNA, right? Like Wenger said before he even came, and with David Dean days, like long before him, the idea of Arsenal, even though that the George Graham days, everyone's like, oh yeah, boring 1-0. They still attacked. They still went forward as a unit and went back as a unit. We haven't done that in years.
This is my famous. This is my famous quote. That's what I said last season after we drew against Brighton. I can't say what was
Jesus Christ. No, but like, I don't understand these people that want him to. Like, where do you see this going? Do you genuinely see signs of improvement? Because I don't at all.
I don't
understand. It's like if you owned a company. If the shop stopped selling clothes and merchandise and tickets, they wouldn't go, oh, we just won't say anything. We'll leave it till the end of the season. You'd do something.
You know what? After that quote last season when I said, I can't believe it was sacking him off. I also said Guendouzi was a cartoon character and Soxy's just a waiter.
Hey, Patrice ever said it, yeah?
He was spot on.
Guendouzi's our best player, and he weren't even a regular in his team in the second division when he was playing there, and now he's our best player at Arsenal. Well, Aubameyang, but like, how's he our best midfielder? This is a worry.
I think
worried.
we just give Emery 17 more windows and he'll get it right. Don't worry about it. Like, we'll just
Yeah.
years.
I could have 17 windows and get it right.
Do you know what, lads? Right, I'm surprised he scored as many as he has because he doesn't get a sniff.
Who, Aubameyang?
Yeah, I imagine it.
I
If
know.
he played right in Man City's team, can you imagine the amount of goals that man would get?
Yeah.
My God.
He doesn't get a sniff. It's like he's going to his fucking coke dealer and fucking sniffing fucking powder, mate. It's
He's
sugar.
sniffing what he can, Sonny, mate. I'm telling you. And he's frustrated. You know, you can see it. Like Lacazette when he come on.
Did he even get a chance?
No, he didn't.
The thing is, though, right? I was going to say one thing.
Dominic, I'll come to you next, Ben. Dominic's saying people need to stop degrading these smaller teams. Dominic, they're smaller teams for a reason, mate, because they're shit. Go on, Ben.
No, I was just going to say, right, I don't rate Xhaka. It's obvious, right? But I get Kieran there said it was his best game. Well, he played well, whatever, right? And Emery took him off for the first time in however long. Why? Is that because he knows literally it's falling apart and everyone...
He didn't take him off his performance. He took him off because they wanted more attacking. they want him off his... But basically, you know, wrong team selection from the start. You know, Torreira's the only one who plays the ball forward when he plays the DM role. Jack always plays it sideways.
Well, I think Guendouzi does it, but I think the thing is, Ceballos takes too many touches too deep in the.
No, I see what Guendouzi does, Ben. What Guendouzi does, he gets the ball in a position. He points his body towards the man he's going to pass it to, and he waits 5 minutes, right? And then he plays it to him. Whenever I was on that player, just fucking pass it straight away. He hangs on to the ball too much, man.
I think, like, back to the point about that, right? The midfielders. We know Emery apparently likes playing with fullbacks, right? So we know Tierney's fit because he said his comment was, I've got 2 left backs now ready to start. You had Bellerin obviously still out. Chambers is a decent defender. He's not a right back that can go forward in a game like this at all. You can't put a cross in because people are too close to him and he's got no left foot. So realistically, you might as well play 3 at the back and just played, I don't know, like Martinelli or any of the wide players, literally wider. And I do think Pepe had a good game. He missed an absolute sitter and it's unforgivable for that. But I thought he had a good game. I thought he got back way too deep than where we fucking want him on the pitch.
Do you know what? Wenger's last 2 seasons, right? I said, as much as I wanted Wenger out, right, because I wanted a change, I said the players was more of a problem than Wenger in the last 2 seasons, right? The difference is with Emery, I don't think the players are the problem. I think Emery's the problem.
I agree.
Simon.
Yeah. You said Simon.
Simon's the problem.
It's funny how the kid has gone missing on a game where...
I was going to say.
Bro, the kid, if you're watching, where are you, bro? Unless there's a fire in your house, why aren't you on this podcast?
I don't know what.
Do you know what? All these people defend Emery, right? All these people defend Emery, and when it comes to Emery fucking up, and they're not here to defend them, do you know what? No respect for you at all. None. Sorry.
I think it's same as what Diesel says though. When he first came for it last year, we all got swept up with his emotions on touchline. We all got swept up in it.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the crunch, and he needs to actually do something and get these players up for the game, he fails. Look at our team. Look at our game today against Sheffield United. Not once did we press them in midfield. No. Not once did we harass them, but they didn't harass us. If somebody said to me, Sheffield United played you off at Park, no, they didn't. They did nothing. We did nothing. Their only goal came from a corner. Their only goal came from a corner. That was it. They were never going to score against us from open play.
They went through us like a knife goes through butter.
No, but
that's what upsets.
That's because of the midfield.
Simon, John Fleck looked decent against us. John Fleck.
I heard Barcelona are actually interested in him, but
John Fleck.
John Fleck made Granit Xhaka look decent.
If you look through all the teams, like I said to Sunny before, right, who scored against us last year, and look at the goal scorers, it's pretty much the fucking worst players in their squad that score against us. Benteke scored his first goal in 16 months against us, whatever the fuck it was. Like,
Neil Mellor comes out of the woodwork.
Honestly, right. But the thing is, people forget Gazidis. That was his leaving present, Emery. This guy apparently delivered a 36-page dossier on all the players of the squad.
Yeah.
Emery's one.
Shit.
Ozil's one of my captains, but he's not in the squad.
Do you know what? Power painting, bro. I don't know who you support, but can't argue with you.
No, not at all. It's like literally, lads. It's like having an illness and having the cure sitting on a fucking table over there, and then going, "I think I'll just leave it. It'll probably just work itself out." Like you've got the players.
You know what? I like to hear what the bullshit Robbie comes out with tonight, and Troops as well, and other prick DT as well.
No,
I don't know what Emery said.
What's the bullshit you're going to come out with tonight, Robbie? What happens to Pepe's world class corners tonight?
Nobody on AFTV
it,
says what they want anymore.
You know what? Stop being flip flops and say it how it is. Because I say it as it is. Maybe that's why I'm not liked, because I say it as it is.
I'm starting to think that that's meant to be a tactic then, corners, because how can I watch Reece Nelson take 5 corners in 2 different games and they all not reach the front post, and then Pepe take 3 corners tonight and not get past the front post? It must be a tactic to get a flick on or something. It must be.
But it's shit.
Because these are professional footballers. They can't hit the ball past the front post. That has to be a tactic.
The thing is, right, when you've got the best players, like arguably some of the best players in the world playing, especially in the front line, you can go out there like Wenger and let them play and just say, "Yeah, go and do what you do." Emery stops them doing what they do, and actually it just stops our whole move. We'd have nothing. We have no transition from midfield to attack and from defence to midfield.
Well, we lost our transition player when we lost. We lost Santi Cazorla and we lost Aaron Ramsey. So we lost Aaron Ramsey, and we saw a bit of Guendouzi last season, but Guendouzi is 1/10 the players that Ramsey is, because Guendouzi doesn't score goals. He doesn't actually create chances. His movement, as in he's a workhorse. He's got a lot more to learn, and he's link up play between. He's good to link up, but it's in that final third which is the problem.
But and someone just said it there. We don't have a plan B, because when the wing backs are injured, we still try and play the same way when we know we haven't got wing backs that can get up and down the pitch. What has happened to Kolasinac? I have no idea. Last season, first couple of games when Emery was there, I think he had about 4 assists in the first 7 games or something, because he was whacking balls in.
He was playing at the back though, weren't they?
He's just but now he just doesn't even get up and down the pitch. Every time he gets the ball, he wants to go back. No, I know. But he doesn't take a man on. He doesn't cross the ball anymore.
We don't even ever play an 8. I don't even know what. It's just. And this is what I'm saying. He's been here like 2 years now. On paper, right? You look at this game and you think, do you know what? On paper, I know it's not played on paper, but Arsenal should be smashing this team.
Yeah.
3-4. So many Arsenal fans tonight were so confident. There's that little part of me with when it comes to Arsenal, I think, hold up, guys. This is going to be a lot tougher than what we think.
Yep.
And it rings true all the time. And then Arsenal fans are shocked by it. And I'm like, why are you shocked? Name me a game this season, or even last season, where we've blitzed a team, dominated the game. I can't remember.
Shocked by this result. I wasn't shocked by this result. I thought
that's what it's come to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it time to bench Pepe? Is it time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really original name, that one. Is it time to bench Pepe?
Yes.
For who?
Martinelli.
No.
What, and have Martinelli and Saka on the wings?
No.
Think about that though. We've got
Martinelli, Aubameyang, and Lacazette.
When we bought Martinelli in the summer, people were like, "Who the fuck is this kid? When are we getting in the big signing?" Yeah. So we're relying on a 17-year-old who's played a handful of games, and Martinelli who's played a handful of games. Now I don't want to
look who the ass, Terry.
Yeah, he's always good. I don't want to ruin Martinelli like we have.
As bad as we are, we're still above you.
Desperate for them to do something because we've got no other answers.
But we've been waiting. We've been waiting for a winger, right? 2 years almost, a year and a half, right? We said last year we need a winger so that we can have a front three, not like Liverpool necessarily, but to allow Aubameyang and Lacazette to run off people. We get potentially, hasn't shown it yet, a class winger, and then we drop Ozil. And that's the actual time, the only time in Arsenal's history you should be playing.
I just want to give Terry a message from the Football Terries. If you ever subscribe to Football Terries, go follow Terry and go and subscribe to him. I don't know why he's still following United on the Football Terries, because I thought he does a top 6. But the thing is, Terry, I don't know why you're so gassed just because you drew against Liverpool the other day, because really you should have won, right? So drawing is you actually drop 2 points that game because Liverpool was at their worst. But I say saying Arsenal still shit, United still shit, Tottenham still shit, Chelsea still shit, everyone's still shit. The league is shit, football shit, the weather's shit, Halloween is shit. I hate little kids knocking on my door at Halloween. The fucking life is shit.
Leicester are pretty good though.
Everything's just fucking shit.
See you later.
The Arsenal really is fucking shit. It's fucking shit. Everything is fucking shit.
Everyone's coming out with his videos where he's depressed after the next game. It's all right. Man United always get themselves hyped up for Liverpool games. Like it's standard. I never thought Man United would get told the other day, yesterday anyway.
It's just
you know what? The only justice there is in the world is Claude's got a 5-hour coach trip back, and that's what you get for sleeping on my podcast last week.
Thursday, better.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, right? It's just I look at tonight and I just think, do you know what? Right, we've got talented players, right? If you compare both squads, but you just know Sheffield United, you know what they lack in talent, they're going to make up for in hard work, grit, desire, right? So we knew we was in for a tough game, but when I'm not seeing it from our players, you have to question what is going on, and that's Emery and the players, because I'm not excusing the players one little bit, right? It's because we always go for the manager, and rightly so, right? But the players have got to take a little bit of responsibility as well. You can't just be.
I just want to see if Terry is going to pick up his phone. I'm going to give Terry a call. I'm on the phone, Terry. I'm going to see if Terry picks up.
The kid's back.
He's not going to talk on phone. He's just going to go. He's just going to laugh. That's all he's going to do.
Worse than Arsenal.
The kid needs to get 4G. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
5G.
Where are you, man?
He's on dial-up.
Send help.
Tell your thought. Right, Terry from the football Terrace is with us. Terry, what's your thoughts on Arsenal, mate? What's your thoughts on the game?
No, he's right. He's right. Sheffield Wednesday played well, but there's nothing that Sheffield Wednesday did that we didn't expect.
I didn't see Sheffield Wednesday.
I didn't see Sheffield Wednesday.
Let Terry speak to me. Terry, wasn't Chris Wilder in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Was Chris Wilder the guy in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or was that Gene Wilder?
Gene.
We've got bad line with Terry. I'm going to have to let you go. Terry, do you want to join the stream? Let me message Terry, see if he wants to join the stream.
Chris Wilder's a better manager than fucking Ollie.
I thought Chris Wilder was in Charlie Chocolate Factory. He was with
Do you know what, right? All joking aside, right? I actually do like Chris Wilder.
He is. He's underrated.
He reminds me. He's one of them. It's a dying breed of those old school managers who's not afraid to sort of give his team a rollicking. He's one of them. I just get that feel from him. Like they run through like a brick wall for him.
He's also playing attacking football, isn't he? Like he's gone there and said, "I'm in the Premier League." And they play more attacking football than we do.
Ben, I don't know if you saw it, right? Before the game started, right? They interviewed Chris Wilder, right? And he actually said he knew what we were going to do. He knew that we were going to press. He knew what we were going to do, right? And he actually said, "I know they're going to do this. I know us are going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to counter that, and we're going to do." And I'm thinking, and it rang true.
And our manager says, "Good evening." So what do you expect? Like. The thing is, does anyone actually like? I said this before, but I'm convinced he's lost the dressing room already.
I think
the reason I think that is because when like today you see a few. I'm not going to go through players' names; it's just not worth it. But there was obvious examples of people not getting back into position. Right?
Yeah, Terry's here.
Fuck all,
Terry.
Gentlemen.
Fellow East
Just be
Londoner.
careful what you say because you've got Norwich next, I think, aren't you?
We do relegation game. I'm really excited about it.
Terry, before we get your opinion, Till, shout out your channel, bro.
Yeah. Come over and check me out at the Football Terrace if you don't know where we are. Yeah, we're excited. Monday, I'm moving to the new studio Monday, so I can't wait. Been sitting there today.
About TV's back.
Well, it probably won't be called that because of copyright issues, but but the concept's the same. It's still gonna be me, Have Hope, Adam, and some other friends. But yes, mate.
So what are you more excited about? The fact that you're moving to a studio or you're moving to your house with a swimming pool?
The swimming pool, bro. The swimming pool. Every day of the week, the swimming pool, my man. Yeah.
Go and check out Terry. He's moving to his big yard in Stockbroke, Surrey. So, Terry, you made a valid point, right? Chris Wilder has done a fantastic job with Sheffield United, right?
Yeah.
What's Arsenal? Well, I must call you Arsenal Wenger then. What's Unai Emery's problem?
It's a difficult one to put your finger on. Something that stands out to me, though, you speak to a lot of Paris Saint-Germain supporters. You heard what a lot of them were saying when he took the job at Arsenal. There was this element of, does he have the bottle to go to an elite club? Some managers are really good. And that's the one thing you would say about a Chris Wilder. Could he do this if suddenly he moved to a Chelsea or a Man United and the expectation is you must perform? I think there's an element of that. I suppose the sickening point for Arsenal fans has got to be your squad is stronger this season than it was last year. You spent a lot of money this summer. Your academy players are a year older, but you are 6 points worse off at this stage. So you were 21 points this time last year. That's regression inside your second season. And the football's poor. Yeah, I think what if you conceded 12 goals, but it should be a lot more. I mean, the amount of games where you guys have kind of got away with it, as an example. So it's really worrying. Plus, he's making mistakes. Why, in God's great name, have you got one of the best left backs in Europe sitting on the bench when he must be fit by now? He's played 2 games. If had the international break, he isn't starting. Holding is better than Socrates and David Luiz every single day of the week. Torreira was an absolute machine last year. Can't understand why he's in the team. Granit Xhaka himself, he just, other than his left foot when he bangs a ball, I don't know what else he brings as a football player. I really, really don't. And
he's a coward.
And Ceballos, he's your most creative midfielder, and he's sitting there on the bench. If you're going to bring a man on loan from Real Madrid, you've only got him for 12 months. If he's successful, he's going back to Real Madrid. If he's a flop, you're not going to want him. So why is he not playing? It just, all those things, you add the mistakes in, the lack of progression, and the fact that at the end of the day, man's bought a £72 million winger who, for me, he's no better than Theo Walcott. You might as well go back to Everton and buy your man back. At the moment, he's no better.
Terry, was I wrong then weeks ago, especially when we beat Aston Villa 3-2, by coming out after the game and saying that Emery should get sacked? Was I wrong?
As it stands right now, if we, hindsight, as I always say, is a very lucrative commodity. You're not wrong because it is where it is. All I would say to you is that if suddenly he turns it round and he puts in some unbelievable performances and you fly up the table, you'll have to say you were. But as it stands right now, but the thing is with a lot of the other Gooners that I watch on social media, is they're all calling you negative. Oh, don't be harsh on Emery. Don't criticize him too much. But then they've all got this little hedge bet on the side where they've gone, but if he doesn't make top 4, I'm going to also be Unai Emery out. And it's like, they've planned it. And I've said this to I've seen it with United fans with Ollie. It's either you're in or you're out. This whole kind of, I'm going to do it on a game by game basis. It's like, well, no, you either back the man or you don't back him. For me, you're just trying to get the best of both worlds in that case. He's either good enough or he's not. And if he isn't good enough, in your eyes he's not, then what's the point of him staying here anymore? So your view is your view, Sonny, but at the moment, everything you're saying is coming to fruition.
But you shouldn't really back a manager based on just results, right? It's got to be something more than that style of play. What does he bring to the team?
Style of play, absolutely. And there needs to be something. It's the biggest issue I've got with Ollie, and I want him to be a success because he's different from Unai Emery in the sense that he is a club legend. So there is an affinity and emotion towards him. We saw something yesterday, but that could just simply be because it was Liverpool. I'm not getting ahead of myself on real terms. But you want to see, the style of football's looking good. There's those green shoots of hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. With Unai Emery, it's starting to feel more and more like the end of the Wenger era, in my view, as a neutral watching.
I feel like some of the things that we've put in place are the green shoots that you're talking about. The fact that our youngsters and youth are actually coming through. Martinelli, Willock, that we're starting to Saka. We're seeing that. That's green shoots to me. But the fact that the attacking style of play, non-existent. The our actual enjoyment of watching our team win non-existent. Even when we was winning last season in that run, it wasn't entertaining football.
So yeah. I agree. I think one thing as well. Sorry, so let me just say one more thing on the Unai Emery's pressure. A lot of Gooners have been telling me with the changes that have been made behind the scenes. So heads of recruitment, heads of scouting. Is it Edu that's running a big part of your club now?
Yeah.
The behind the scenes running of the club. It's full of very good businessmen and established football minds. To have that backing, to have the transfers, to have the squad that you've got, and not to play attacking football, which is part of the Arsenal DNA. All of that hamped up. Again, with Ollie, Ollie's got an excuse because we're run by a bunch of absolute bloodthirsty clowns. According to Arsenal fans all summer, that wasn't happening at your club. So that, in my view, will heap additional pressure on Unai Emery.
Well, based on that intel, why are they keeping this guy on the job?
When does his contract run out?
Well, apparently it's 3 years without a break clause.
So we've got another year left. Well, I don't. The only thing you've got to say, and you can play devil's advocate here, is something going on behind the scenes that you're not privy to, that isn't tangible to the eyes of Arsenal fans, and Arsenal Football Club are happy with the direction that they're going in. That would be one side of it. Could it be cost saving? Could it be a case of, right, if we don't make the top four, we don't make Champions League football, it's cheaper to sack him? Clubs do this. They will make decisions sometimes based on it was cheaper for Man United, for instance, to sack their managers when it become mathematically impossible to not make the Champions League, and it's easier for them to do that. I wouldn't put it beyond any football club to make business decisions in that way. But in terms of the football, it needs to improve, and it needs to improve quickly. If it doesn't, you guys aren't making the top four again. Will that be 4 years on the bounce of that? Which is, for a club the size of Arsenal with your fan base, simply not good enough.
Who's worst manager, Solskjaer or Emery?
Solskjaer. Yeah.
Is he?
I don't know.
Of course he is.
I think Solskjaer's tactics were bang on the other day against Liverpool.
Yeah, they were. Okay, that's one game. What I would say is Unai Emery's the better manager, but that's why Arsenal failing is more of an embarrassment, because he is a better manager. You know, if someone's not good enough, if he, he's a PE teacher, like we keep being told, he's never achieved anything at an elite level club in an elite league of football. Him being mid-table with an average squad, which we keep getting told we are, is about standard. But Unai Emery, with his pedigree, with what he's achieved, with the clubs and leagues he's been to, it's more of an embarrassment if he fails. It's got to be. The same as if Dan James fails at Man United, that's not as embarrassing as Pepe failing because of the difference in cost.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen on Thursday in the Europa League, he'll play our strongest squad. Tierney will play, Holding will play, Bellerin will play. But then when we play Crystal Palace, it'll be the same lineup tonight.
But I think it's more of a style of play, because when we play in the Europa League, there's much more freedom about it. When we play in the Europa League, it feels like a completely different team. Even if you play out the same team, it would play differently.
Yeah, but
that's because Xhaka doesn't play.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. As soon as the Champions League teams drop into the Europa League and there's proper teams to play, Arsenal will shit themselves again.
Yeah.
They're only playing champagne football because they're playing nobodies.
Yeah.
So they're playing champagne football because Xhaka's not there blocking the play, mate. He changes the dynamic. I'm not saying he's the worst player on the pitch or anything like that, but the dynamic is we play more of a freedom in the centre of the park and people run and move.
Yeah,
it is
quicker.
You know what? When I'm not upset when Arsenal lose, that's saying something. I called it tonight. I said Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 tonight. I called it even before the team selection.
I don't think anyone's surprised though, because even the games we've won, as we said, we've played shit. And people keep coming on going, yeah, we've got the result. It's about grinding out the 1-0. It's not.
There's people on AFTV because they know Aubameyang's brother and they DM Aubameyang, right?
Come on, don't go down that road, Sonny. Come on, mate.
But basically, Arsenal could do no wrong, and we were third in the league, and everything's rosy. Why is it these people who are friends with players, right, can't speak the truth?
No, I think part of what, and this isn't people on Arsenal fan TV. This is general fans. This is fans in general. I think part of the reason why some people are sticking by Emery is because the passion they had with getting out Wenger. They'll be shouting out, "Is this what you want? Is this what you want? This is what you want."
It's all self-gain. It's all self-gain and self-publicity. That's all it is, right?
But I'm hearing this from people that aren't on socials. I'm hearing this from people that, give him a chance, give him a bit longer. Why?
For what though? Yeah, exactly. For what?
Terry, have you ever heard of a world-class corner?
What?
Have you ever heard of a world-class corner? Robbie said the other week, Pepe took a world-class corner. He popped it right on David Luiz's head.
Well,
have you ever heard of anything so...
Sorry, I didn't know where you were coming from with that. Look, if you cross a ball in and it's a very good cross, then you could call it that. But look, I think with the Pepe situation, you know he hasn't performed yet. You know, at the moment he's fur coat, no knickers. There's no substance to the style that he has, and he's missed tonight. Jesus, the build-up play was great, but what's the point of the build-up play if there's no end product? It's crazy, and it was terrible. But look, on YouTubers and their connections, like we got offered a sponsor on the channel recently, to which we turned down simply because they told me directly that my stuff about the Glazers would have to stop, which I promptly told them that no, we're independent, we'll always stay independent. So people, that does happen. That happens in all walks of life. Like, you know, we saw Raheem Sterling, one of the standout guys in football, to kick out racism. But then when there's a little incident involving one of his teammates, it's just banter. And people often do that when it's a friend, when it's someone they know. It's a lot harder to go in on them, isn't it? Like, you just asked me a question about Robbie. I know Robbie. I'll get on with him. I'm not going to dig into him online or privately.
It's about football opinion. It's about football opinion, right? How can you not call a spade a spade? If you're seeing something in your eyes and it's shit, say it's shit. You don't say shit is roses, do you?
No, I get that. But when you're friends with somebody, it is harder to do that. Like, it is harder to have that kind of tough love mentality. And then when there's business involved and when there's money involved, there's professionalism that comes into it, and you can't say certain things.
Terry, I'm friends with you, but I still think you're commentating shit on Blood Brothers.
Mate, but the thing is, but I'm different to a lot of those other guys.
It's not as bad as Lewis.
I don't give a fuck. Like, it's like it's one of them things that I get so much criticism. I'm just like, yeah, but it doesn't bother me because I'm moving into a house next week with swimming pool. Why do I give a shit what you think? But no. But again, I'm being a bit flippant, but it's the truth. There are some people out there that care about it. They might make friends with a footballer. They might get a sponsorship deal with a company, and to them it's like, I need to hold on to that no matter what. So they will change their opinions, and they will maybe not speak up when they should, because that's what's more important to them. I'm just a little bit different where I don't care, but don't go down the route of just ignore them and just give your opinion rather than bringing them up into it, bro. Like, just ignore it.
But the thing is, you give your honest opinion, and then you get slaughtered for giving your honest opinion. Claude gave his honest opinion tonight, and he got slaughtered apparently.
But Claude's honest opinion is only going to be that we were shit, and if anyone can't see that, then you're fucking lying. Like, we lost 1-0 to Sheffield United, mate. Like, what more can you say? If anyone could bring any shining light out of this performance today, then they're mad. They're mad.
Because I know what Ty's going to do. Ty will blame the penalty that we should have got, the pull on Socrates' shirt. And by the way, it was a penalty. But I said this, about Liverpool moaning about their decision yesterday. It's like Unai Emery not picking Tierney, playing Xhaka, and not playing Ceballos. That's 3 mistakes more than a referee made tonight. Pepe's miss was a bigger mistake than a referee not giving that as a penalty. But that will be what certain people will do. They'll focus on that one result. They'll be very myopic, and they'll shrink it down to that moment as if there wasn't another 90-odd minutes to play and score goals in.
It wasn't a penalty. Saka wasn't a penalty. He dived.
No, Saka's wasn't a penalty, but the pull on Socrates' shirt.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't have 3 shots on target in the second half with that much possession and then go, we deserve to win. No.
Was it raining? Was it raining?
No. They weren't even physical. They weren't even physical. They were
really cold.
What Ty will say is because they're up north, they're playing at altitude, and it's all wrong. That's what it's going to be.
All right, Terry, who's going to finish higher this season, Man U or Arsenal?
Right, honestly, Arsenal will right now. I still think you guys will finish above us.
Based on what?
This is not bragging rights. Trust me.
No, I know. This is
like a shit pie and a pint of piss. Like,
yeah, bro. It's exactly. It's tall as the wolf. Like, we're both.
Do you know what? Terry's the only person who can slag off United and say they're shit all season and come out smelling the roses. I don't understand it. I just don't understand how you do it.
Yeah, because I do it because of the way I criticize my team is I don't abuse my team. There's a difference. I don't think Ollie's doing a good enough job, but I'm not calling him names. I'm not changing his name. I'm not mimicking him. I'm not being nasty about him. You can. There's a huge difference between criticism and abuse, and the
Terry,
two things shouldn't be conflated.
I'm not calling Emery the fucking wanker any names, am I?
No, but what you are doing is you kick a hornet's nest every week and go after other fans, so it creates an emotional reaction from people rather than people looking at it from an objective point of view.
And also, could I add that go through Terry's comment section and there will be some absolute vile trash in there. So it's not all sunny. It ain't them sunshine and roses over there, mate. Trust me.
And that's my mum. That's my mum who does that. The other day, what she said to me, she goes, "I wish your dad wore a condom." I was like, "Thanks." Brilliant.
Do you know what, though? I mean, Arsenal's team selection tonight was it's just disgusting. Do you know what, Terry? I've said from the start, Arsenal's midfield is not good enough. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which combination they put together. They're not good enough. And I think Ceballos and Ozil can't play away. You know.
I think we're going a bit harsh on Ceballos. Has he had a run of games? The geezer keeps starting on the bench now.
He's played in his right position once as well against Burnley.
The fact that he's come on loan from Real Madrid because he wanted to play football, and he's now currently sitting on the bench at Arsenal. So he's probably fucked off as well. Like,
yeah, he'd have got more game time at Real Madrid.
It's madness. It's madness.
Marble Horse TV. Marble Horse TV. If you haven't subscribed to him, go and check out his channel. He was very much Emery in all this time, and all of a sudden, based on one game, he's Emery out.
He's a regular viewer on my channel, so I'm not going to slag him off. Hello, mate. Yeah.
To be fair, he's probably hurting for a while, and he's had enough. But yeah, I worry about the rest of our season. I worried about it at the end of last season, and nothing's really changed, to be honest.
But do you know what, right? So can I just say, right? Over the weekend, Man United and Liverpool drew, right? They dropped points. Man City won, obviously. Spurs drew. Surely the Arsenal fans are looking at that thinking, do you know what? We're third at the moment. I know we dropped down to fifth. Everyone around us is dropping points. Like, I can remember 2 games, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, right, when Wenger was here. 2 games of the season. They were both at home. One was against Chelsea and the other one was Man United. They're the only 2 games I remember where, from the off, right, we were on it. Right, every player was on their job. Right, we started off as soon as the whistle went. I think we'd done Chelsea 2-3-0, Man United 2 or 3-0. Those were the only 2 games where I think, do you know what? It just goes to show, right, that when we start from the off, as soon as that whistle goes, everyone's on their job and it's quick, intense. Also, our pressing, like, where's that gone? You know, it's.
I'm not laughing at you. Sorry.
Yeah,
No, I'm not laughing at you. I was listening to you, but you know what you said about comments? I've just seen I get all these when anything's abusive in my comments, they all flag up in this little thing. And there's one that's come through here from a guy called Sean Eastman, because I did my reaction show after the Arsenal game, and I didn't slag Arsenal off at all. I just said it as it was, that you're in a worse position this year than last year. And this guy, this is the emotion of this guy. He says Terry is a moron. He needs to be called out. Arsenal suffered a defeat against Sheffield United, but before that, Man United were 13th in the Premier League table. He said Man United are still worse off due to their even after the defeat that Arsenal have suffered. Blah 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 blah. He goes, the internet is sometimes a good place for an idiot with a camera and a microphone. He was actually bantering Arsenal.
He has got a point there, though, Phil.
Yeah, he then goes on to state, he goes, I'm certain that Terry suffers with a narcissistic personality disorder, right? and needs pills. I worry for him. Somebody should take his children away. Which is like, yeah.
Wow.
And do you know what but the point I made earlier is I didn't there's nothing I've said tonight where I'm like, I did a bit of trolling on Twitter earlier, but that was just bantering. But it's like, I said nothing that I haven't said to you guys, and there hasn't been that outrage. The problem you have is when I talk about Arsenal, I praise them. It's like, oh, Terry's such an unbiased Man United fan. He's brilliant. When I tell the truth, or I say something which they don't want to hear, suddenly I've got a narcissistic personality and my children need to go into social services. But you just got to learn to. I just laugh at it because that guy's clicked on my video. He's just made me money.
Sorry, Terry, can I just say, right?
Yeah, go on, mate.
I watch a lot of your because obviously I'm a subscriber of your show as well, right?
Appreciate it.
And you're one of them. You say how it is, right? To a point where I've seen Man United fans call you out and say, "Are you sure you're not a closet Arsenal fan?"
Yeah,
that says it all.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I've never seen someone say the word bottle with much passion after we drew to Man United. It infuriated me.
Yeah, just keep it real. That's what it's all about.
But that's the thing. What I've said this to a lot of people. What I think we're doing at the Football Terrace, and I try and encourage this as much. It's why Unofficial Pundit on my channel gets such an adverse reaction, because what we've tried to create with Adam and with Neeks and a lot of the guys that come on is everybody's quite objective when they talk football, and they won't unnecessarily throw trash at each other. But you suddenly have someone like the Unofficial Pundit who comes on who's just like Gerrard shit and Aubameyang shit and his shit. It's like, it's almost like a weird reaction. Everybody's like, this is strange. This doesn't happen on this channel. But yeah, you just got to take it on the chin, because you're always going to, you can't please all the people all of the time. So I don't even bother fucking try.
Robbie said it's too early to be talking about sacking the manager.
When did you say that?
Apparently said that tonight.
Look, I think that questions need to be asked. That whether or not you sack him is a different ball game, because you have to look at who's going to come in, who is available. It could get worse. Everybody thought that Man United sacking Jose Mourinho would improve things. As it stands right now, not so much. So it's you. That's all part and parcel of this. So it isn't just as easy as saying, right, this sacking, because who could you bring in?
For £8 million a year, you could bring in anyone.
But who?
Jose.
The thing, Simon, it's not just about, and you're right, it's about who can you bring in, yeah. But it's not just about who you're bringing in; it's about what they're bringing to the club. Jose Mourinho is bringing a fucking massive invoice, wage bill, and transfers. Like, if you want Jose Mourinho, you're going to need 150 million base level.
Minimum.
Yeah, you need more, and that's over 3 seasons. So it is right. You need to know who's coming in, but
plus as someone that works in the department of the bank that he banks with, I know how much he gets paid, and it's almost double. £8 million a year. So you also have to double your wage salary for your manager instantly, plus the players. Yeah, Kieran's right. And also think as well, you've just sat here and spoke about attacking style of football.
It's not
exactly. And I had this conversation with Adam Childs on the FT show the other day. Like, Man United fans want Allegri. And it's like, well, hang on. He doesn't play the style of football that we want. And what you've got, what Man United fans want, and what I think Arsenal fans want from Jose Mourinho, they're like a woman who meets a guy that they quite like. They want to marry him, but not because they want to marry the man that they are. They want to fucking change him. And it never works. Not in this day and age. There's no point bringing Jose in and thinking he's going to play Wenger style of football. The same, there's no way bringing Allegri to Man United and thinking that he's going to suddenly turn into Sir Alex Ferguson. They have their philosophies that have made them successful. And Gunners don't want Jose Mourinho's philosophy. Plus, it's only going to last 2 years. Third year, it goes wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, every time. Every time.
We could be second in league, 1 point behind Liverpool, a chance to win the league, have Diego Simeone, and we'd still whinge because of the football.
Terry Armagoon saying, I like this Terry better than... I don't like this Terry better than you, Tel, but the thing is, he's got a swimming pool, you haven't.
Are you going to get invited to that swimming pool, Sonny?
But Sonny has got the hairiest. Sonny has got the hair. He's got the hairiest back I've ever seen in my life. So you have to shave first, bro.
I've shaved it. You know what? My barber knows when he comes to do my hair, he's doing my back as well.
What? I can imagine you, bruv. You're the kind of guy who would take your vest off in the barber, just bend over, just shave your back.
I'll go to the back room. I say, can you do my back as well? And then after he's done my back, I've got a nice clean back and I have to go home and do the front.
Bloody old garden shears, isn't it?
Jesus. Like an Ewok doing a breakdance.
It's a turkey, me. What can I say? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
I'll leave that to you lot. It's your team. I'm just sitting here.
I don't even want to watch him no more.
Terry, what was your reply to Drifty as well when he said Man United still having linesmen and referees basically paying or something like that?
My reaction was triggered.
I was pissing myself
because it's just like it's triggered. Like to say Man United, it's just nonsense. Like a week ago, they got a very dubious decision that won them the game against Leicester. I mean, if Man United, I know he doesn't actually mean it, but there are a lot of Liverpool fans that think we actually pay refs. If we pay referees, why would they be giving you those decisions? We would pay them to not give you anything, wouldn't we? Like, it's just that kind of football chat is just it's in the unofficial pundit have hope school of chat, which I
just want to pick Joe up on that. Joe says, "Sonny, use money from your YouTube channel to fund your vaping addiction." Well, one, I broke my glass tonight, so I'm not vaping. And the other thing as well, I only get about 25 pence a month, so it's not even a puff.
Honestly, you'd get more if you sold your body at King's Cross, mate. You
know what I mean?
Shave. Yeah, there'll be someone who wants it for a weave or something, I'm sure. It's long enough.
Difference between me and you, Till, I shave my balls, you don't.
No, I get mine waxed, bruv. I'm not down there. It's like a dolphin. It's like a dolphin beak. No fuzz, bruv. No fuzz.
Fucking hell.
I'm white, mate. I'm white. Anything to make it look a little bit bigger.
Kieran's thinking, how have we got onto this?
Show what? Arsenal United are so bad. We end up talking about
beauty cosmetics. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
So, what's your plans for the future, Phil?
What do you mean? I'm going to bed in a minute. I mean,
what's happening with the studio and stuff?
Yeah, I've got to go in. I've got to decorate in that first. But I found something today. It was really cool. I wanted to do like the walls like looking like bricks. I was going to get like brick wallpaper. But I found this foam stuff that looked like brick.
Why didn't you just put your studio outside?
Because it's cold. But it's like a soundproof foam that looks like brick. So that way you can make more noise and I won't wake up my daughter who's in the next room. So I'm like, that's quite a buzz. But yeah, I've just been doing that and planning for that and YouTube stuff and boring life. Just YouTube, gym, kids. But that's it. That's me.
So anyway, yeah, I'm actually fucking sick of the fucking dog tonight. You know?
Yeah, no, I get why you guys are. But honestly, of you four on here, how many of you want Unai Emery sacked like now, or think he's going to get sacked soon? Like,
you know what? Want him sacked and know it's never going to happen. Are two different things. You know, they'll never sack a manager mid-season when he's still got everything to play for. It's just not going to happen. But for me, the style of football at the moment, I'm actually considering whether I should go against Crystal Palace on Saturday or not, because I don't see why I should waste £100 for me and my son to go and watch that when I can watch it on telly for nothing.
Yeah,
I don't want him sacked. I don't want him sacked because it's just not you don't want to see managers sacked. You want to see your team doing better. Now, if we could turn it around and our signings look better, the way of football is a bit more exciting, but then I'm asking for too much, I think. I want to see us get top 4 this season. Whether we play shit or not, I just want to see us get top 4 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then go from there. But like I said, the way it's looking at the moment, it worries me because it's no different towards the end of last season.
No, you know the excuses anyway. The excuses as soon as Tierney and Bellerin are going to play, we're going to be like still around Madrid.
I said it last week. It was only before Bellerin got injured in that Crystal Palace game. People didn't want to give him back the ball and were screaming, "You're not fit to wear the shirt." Now he's had a season out. All of a sudden, he's the great white hope, and I'm like. And I like Bellerin. I've not got a problem with Bellerin. But these are the same people that were screaming at him, saying he's shit, and now saying, "Oh, wait until we get Bellerin back." So I'm confused.
I was there that night as well. I was saying it.
And you, Simon, you're one of the ones that is tweeting on Twitter about that we're getting Bellerin and Tierney back.
I know, because I just think it will make us better. The wing backs actually add to Unai's game. That's why I was so baffled with that starting 11.
Play between the midfield and the strikers. There's no cohesion between them. Guendouzi is not that link. Jack is far too deep and pings long balls and sideways balls. And you'd say Willock, but Willock's still young, inconsistent. Ceballos, he doesn't actually rate him. He doesn't. Otherwise, he'd have played him in every single game because he's that player. And Ozil is not going to get in the team again. So where does it go? Torreira.
And he's freezing Torreira out.
He's not that player. He needs to come from deep.
Yeah.
But
with these situations, it's always the hope that kills you. And Arsenal fans have done exactly the same as what United fans are doing at the moment. It's so many things are parallels and identical. So Arsenal fans have put all their hope on Holding, Bellerin and Tierney coming back in, and suddenly the poor performances stop, the leaking of goals stops, and that you go on to new things. If that doesn't happen, either whether it's them being picked or you still keep losing the game, still keep leaking opportunities, there's nowhere left to go. And United fans have said the same. We'll turn it around once Martial and Pogba and Luke Shaw come back. If we don't, then where do you go? And it's that hope, that expectation that you've built up, especially when people put it out there publicly, that turns to anger very, very quickly because nobody likes to look like they have got something wrong. So it's going to be an interesting next month because there's so much football now coming up as well.
Yeah. You know what? I don't feel no differently now than I did when I went to Wenger to leave, to be honest with you. I feel exactly the same. I've got the same despair. I've got the same hatred for everything what's going on.
But Sonny, who are you bringing in?
I don't care.
For me, don't care. You're the chairman. You're in charge.
But the thing is, it's not my job to bring in the right people, is it? They know football better than me. But you know, if it's down to me, I'll bring a lollipop lady from across the road from where I live, rather than EMERY. You know, I just can't see anything that this geezer's doing. It's just totally useless. It's Spanish David Moyes. You know, every Arsenal fan knows that this bloke was a stopgap manager. So what's the point? What's the point? You know, like Simon keeps saying, we protested 7 years to get rid of Wenger for this.
Yeah, that's why I'm not envying him else. I can't be asked for that shit. I'd have a leg. Not fucking hell, I had a leg of it then, Jesus. I'd have Ancelotti.
You know what? I'm going to start my own Arsenal fan base, to be honest with you. I'm going to start my own one. We're all going to wear cloaks, right, and big pointy hats. It's going to be a totally different Arsenal fan base than what's out there at the moment, because
they're not going to be white pointy hats, are they? Jesus, that sounds a bit suspect, bro. Careful.
Fucking, they might as well be. I'll burn a few crosses and stick Emery on one.
Oh, Jesus. Gentlemen.
Terry, after seeing Liverpool's performance against Man U, you know when you said this title race for me is done, I think Liverpool will win it. What do you think now?
They'll win it still. Yeah.
You still think they'll win it?
Yeah, I think they will. They've got a really good team, and they just played. They were just a bit overconfident for this game. It wasn't about not playing the occasion. The narrative all week, the posting of pictures of them playing basketball, all the different combined 11s with no Man United players in, Gerrard being interviewed, and just not even letting journalists finish their questions of saying who's going to win, who are the favourites. I think all of that just seeps into a dressing room. They came in thinking it was going to be a walk in the park, and United weren't having any of it. But I'm more concerned about the reaction we're going to have now. Can we now get ourselves up for the next couple of games? If we can't, there'll be a massive fallout against Ollie because it's got everybody's hopes up again a little bit. But yeah, Liverpool for me still clear favourites.
Terry, before you go, shout out your channel again.
Yeah, Football Terrace. Just Google it, stick it in YouTube. Come say hello. We do lots of content.
And also, Kieran, shout out your channel as well.
Check out KS1. Plenty of content coming up soon. And my AFTV FC Twitter page, Instagram. You find me on there. And
anyone who hasn't subscribed to Same TV Unfiltered, this is the only channel which doesn't bullshit. You know, we say it as it is. Right? So if you want to hear the truth, you want to hear proper views, no bias. We're not looking for players signed photographs or tops up and hang up in my conservatory. So we say it as it is on this channel. And as far as I'm concerned, it was EMERY out from day one. It's EMERY out now. We're going to wrap up. Please like and share. Follow Terry. Follow Simon. Diesel, I'd like to have you on again, bruv.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Simon, thanks for being watched on. Thanks for everyone in the comments. I love you all. Like I said, hit the like button, please, as well. Because as I've noticed, none of you like hitting the like button. If you don't hit the like button, hit the dislike button because it's still driving the channel. So anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Terry, I'll catch up with you later, mate.
See you later, boys.
Take care. See you later, everyone.